that point, no one's going to care. No one's going to like examine this year, but like, you know what? And I know you're not. That's not what you're insinuating. Like,
Mhm.
nobody's put an asterisk on this season. Like, ew, no, I win a team. No, a national championship is a national championship. You know, you're not
Mhm.
going to apologize for that, and it would do wonders for Michigan. You know, to fully establish yourself. Like, man, you know, not only are we back to being back to being the king of the Big Ten, because that'll be winning twice in a row. That's a pretty big statement. You
Mhm.
know, we're the king of the Big Ten, but we're also now back to being a national champion. First time since 1997, where that would be incredible. You know, and I mean, that'll be the first Big Ten team to win a national title since 2014 Ohio State, right? So, um, yeah, I'm pretty sure 2014 Ohio State. No other Big Ten team has won the national title since then.
Correct.
So, I mean, that would be an incredible impact. And look, yeah, am I going to judge the season off winning a national title? No. I mean, honestly, from where we were, and you know this as well as anybody, in terms of me, but where we were a few years ago with this program, one, the head coach fired, feel like the program was soft, and especially in the big games. Honestly, like I almost won't be disappointed, but to win the Big Ten 2 years in a row and beat Ohio State 2 years in a row and get to the playoff, it would be just incredible. And even if we lost the semifinal game, I wouldn't be happy, but it'll be hard for me not to just be pleased as to how far we've come. And then it will be like going to next year, be like, okay, we've officially wasn't 2021 wasn't a fluke season. Now we've officially shown that we have arrived, and we are legit. Legit contending to win a national championship. We are in that mix. Now we've gone to that upper echelon of tier one potentially. Like, are we now one of those tier one teams? Where okay, we know Michigan's going to be most years Ohio State is the only team in the Big Ten. You're like, okay, Ohio State has a chance to win a national title. That's every year. Like national pundits say that. Finally, be like Michigan be like one of those teams you'll pencil in, like, oh, Michigan has a legitimate chance to win a national championship this year. That's the type of impact I think just repeating what you did last year could put you in that kind of conversation, and that would be incredible.
Absolutely. And I think they are trending there. So I'm not sure I would judge the season based off a national championship,
For sure.
but I'm definitely expecting them to be there. Like
Hmm.
because I do think they are one of the two best teams in the nation, and I think that should get you that if you're one of those, then you should end up in the national championship,
For
unless you just
sure.
get a tough draw. So if they don't win it, I'm not gonna say, well, this season was a failure. That's not the case. But if they don't at least get there, I would feel a certain type of way.
Well, I think you feel the feeling you're describing is a missed opportunity,
Hmm.
right? And particularly for a year where, like we said, it does. Like there isn't really any, dominant football team. So you feel like it'll be like a missed opportunity. Like you really had a chance to like take advantage, of the landscape, right? So no, I'm with you when it comes to that. But um, it's one of those things. I saw a blank name say something about, well, a good chance they may be rebuilding next year. Well, I guess it depends on what you think a rebuilding season for Michigan looks like. I mean, we're not talking about looking like MSU did, going from winning 11 games to now having four. That's unacceptable. But I mean, look, it. I mean, look that's part of being a big boy, though. There's no excuse for that. Like yeah, I mean, I mean, you're going to produce really good play. You're going to recruit really good players. You're going to develop and have those players produce, and then they're going to leave and graduate or go to NFL. And guess what? You have to do it all over again. And you really have to do that without missing a beat for the most part. And if
Hmm.
you do, part of being a big boy is that there is a fall off from that. Look, Alabama fans, I'm sure, are ticked off, right? Um, you didn't win a national title last year. You got to the championship game, but you didn't win it. Which is the only thing that matters. And now you're not even have a chance to even to take your swing at it again. So um, that's just part of being a big boy. No, Michigan doesn't have the same standards as Alabama, But I'm just saying, like once you get to this echelon, look, Ohio State. I can't speak for Ohio State fans, but I'll be willing to guess any year that they don't at least make it to the national title game probably feels like a little bit of failure. My father-in-law, he likes to say, "Well, as long as I beat Michigan, I'm good." Yeah. Well, I would like to say probably more of the diehard Ohio State fans probably think like, "Yeah, we expect to beat Michigan, and I want to win a championship." So
Hmm.
I would guess that's what they think. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Someone had mentioned TCU looking at their schedule. Um, I mean, Liz, here's the deal. Here's what they did. They throttled Oklahoma, beat them badly. Now I get Oklahoma has 2 or 3 losses. Is what it is. They beat Kansas. They beat Oklahoma State. Just beat Kansas State. West Virginia's not very good, and then they'll play Texas next week, and then also have well, so that's their resume up until today. So
you know,
I don't know, man. I think they do have a solid case to move up. I don't know if they'll be 3 or 4 or whatever, but I think they have a really good case.
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. The thing with TCU is, to be honest, man, they're one of those teams where I wouldn't be surprised if they lose either. Going to each week, I won't be surprised if they lose. Like if Texas beats them, I can easily see that.
Yeah,
It's because anytime you're a team and you don't play really, solid defense, mind you, I didn't even say good, solid defense, you just open yourself up to
a
being
lot.
upset.
Yeah, a lot.
And they flirted in moments against West Virginia of losing that football game. Right today,
Hmm.
they had some issues as well. Was it Texas Tech they played today?
Hmm. Yep.
So you just like that's why it's just hard to kind of trust them and kind of be like, what, no, they're going to be there. I don't know. It's possible. But I definitely can see Texas getting them. Absolutely.
For sure.
So those one of those teams where I got to see it to believe. I got to see it, them there to believe. Like, wow, they actually made it.